Chris, Golf Whiskey 4 Golf Juliet Alpha. Golf Whiskey 4 Golf Juliet Alpha.
GW4GJ, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, acknowledged, as well as G0 EUZ, WA5 RIP, GW5VOG. Got about 43 seconds till the net commences, so I will keep chatting. But just to let you know that you are acknowledged, Ken, you're number 5, as the pre-check-ins would go. Yeah, we'll do it about 27 seconds early. We'll go round to Rod, G0, EUZ.
G0EUZ, good evening to everybody. Yeah, nice to be back on after my holiday. Yeah, it's been nice. It's cold here. I just can't get warm today. So, but we had some good weather while we were away. I think we had 3 days in the 20s, so it was good. Lots of takeaways and a few drinks of wine. So yeah, good do had by all. So back to you, Chris M7CCS G0 EUZ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, of course, yeah, we had an Easter break. I took a hotspot with me. We did go out and about. I had the hotspot on, and yeah, I turned it off. But yeah, no radio until today, unfortunately. But I was over on 2356, chatting away with Ron and an older acquaintance. Some people may have seen YouTube videos of his. Kilo 9 Lima Whiskey Lima. His name's Frank. He used to work in an office. He now drives an 8-wheeler. He said he's going to try and be around and awake for the net, try and come in via DStar. But we have got a question for the next person in the net, Michael. We were trying to discuss it today. He said that XLX has disappeared from the DMR side of OpenSpot. But he can still find all the XLX on DStar. So that's kind of a topic, if anyone knows. But I know that Michael uses an OpenSpot DMR, I believe, with the Talk Group 9. But yeah, if he does come in, of course, it will need explaining, Michael. But from an OpenSpot user to an OpenSpot user. Right, so we will go round to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
This is Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, coming for a very nice sunny day here in Lebanon, Tennessee, United States of America. It's about 25 degrees Celsius right now, and for the next couple of days, it's going to be bouncing between 25 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Celsius. So it's almost like summer. As far as your XLS, I'm sorry, I messed it up. I don't know of any changes. I'm looking at my hotspot and seeing if I can see any difference. I can't see any difference on mine. And when I do a quick setup, I can go from DMR to YSF reflector, of course, but it also has the option to go in DCS XLX. So that option is there. I just haven't tried to use it, but it's available. So I don't know what we're doing, but it's news to me. I'll put it that way. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, Yep, it explains a lot actually. The way as soon as you said DMR to YSF, of course, yeah, you can get in to the YSF side of things and do it that way. I think OpenSpot just opens a route up without needing a DigiID 13. Yeah, and DCS, yeah, that rings a bell as well. So DCS as well, if you're in XLX, then yeah, it's got a DCS as well. There's that. So it's all good. But yep, next we're gonna go round to Steve GW5VOG. And then we'll go around to Ken, and then we will start with check-ins, but that's the pre-check-ins. Of course, yeah, key up just as the live stream starts, and you're literally keyed up as I pressed live stream rod. Yeah, key up as that, and if you go up in the log whilst the live stream's going, then of course, yeah, you're automatically logged in. You've got to be watching the live stream to know that. That's why I acknowledged Ken, because I wasn't sure whether he'd be watching the live stream or not. So, round to you there, Steve, GW5VOG. And hello, NDAF in YouTube land, N6UTC.
GW5VOG returning. Thank you, Chris. Good evening, Rod. Good evening, Michael, and good evening, Ken. Yeah, so we've got the D'Artagnan, the Three Musketeers, and Ken the Cardinal Richelieu, maybe. Yeah, so missed you last week, obviously. I did say I couldn't do it last week because I was supposed to be entertaining the in-laws for a pizza night again, and my eldest son was here from London. The other one couldn't make it in the end. So, but anyway, nothing to do with me, but the pizza night was moved to Sunday, so I was free on Saturday after all. But we did go out for a meal actually to Bar 44 in Penarth, the famous tapas restaurant, which is very good, and so that would have curtailed me anyway, but I might have got them to book that some other time if I'd have known that I wasn't doing, if you know what I mean. But anyway, you'd cancelled it, hadn't you, Chris? I did see that you cancelled it, so there we are. We all had a week off. Okay, so with that, back to you, M7CCS from GW5VOG.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Yeah, we cancelled it. We had some, well, I suppose we could do the food porn, really. So we had some nice meals. We did have a barbecue in Sherdington. We also, we had fish pie, which was lovely. And of course, we pretty much had a Christmas dinner. It's the easiest way to explain it on Easter. So, yeah, that's that food porn out of the way. Today's food porn is I set up all the live stream, got everything running in here, so all of you on the live stream can see me. Even if I stick my hand up there, it all goes in every camera angle. My front angle is actually coming from my phone, and of course it's going over the Wi-Fi into the streaming software, so it's handy to know I can do that from hundreds of miles away as well, if I remote into PC, so live streams are still good if I was to go on tour, so it's all good there. So that's the food born there for today. Barbecue was done once set up everything here, and then double checked again, and then of course at the beginning, if you were watching the live stream, you might have seen some strange call signs coming up. Well, call signs I haven't mentioned, and that was because they were over on Brandmeister, over on 2350 Talk Group, and I noticed their hotspot was still in multi-mode mode, But it did give me an indication earlier when it said not linked and then told me it was linked again, while I was having the barbecue. But I didn't realise until we started live stream. So we'll now go round to Ken, GW4GJA.
Yeah, good evening, Chris, and everybody else. This is Golf Whiskey 4 Golf Juliet Alpha Method to Phil. Yeah, I'm just monitoring myself on the YouTube there. It's quite a few seconds behind, isn't it? It's only just flipped over to me now, so yeah, evening to you all. Anyway, I suddenly remembered it was Saturday, and I've been busy today, and I suddenly looked at the time. I thought, oh, let's turn the smartphone on and see if you're about. And here we are. I just suddenly remembered, right bang on time, virtually. Yeah, I've been a bit under the weather, let's say. Very sick at the bottom end, let's just say, not the top end, but the bottom end. After my daughter came here, she arrived here, and within 2 hours of arriving, she went down and became very ill. She came up from Newport, and I obviously picked it up off her, but she had it way far more severe than I did, because she had both ends, and I only had the bottom end. Anyway, it's all over with now. I also burnt my hand with oil 3 weeks ago now. That's on the mend now. I've been looking after it myself. I didn't go to the hospital, but it was a very nasty burn. I suppose category 2 burns it would come under. A lot of it's all cleared up. It's just one last bit next to the thumb, which is negligible to what the rest was. It's healing up very nicely, so that's okay. Thank goodness at last. I can bend the finger. Anyway, yeah, I had cooking oil. It was. I spilled over my hand. I won't do that again in a hurry. Been stuck in the garage on and off, repairing another computer of mine that I've been using. Well, it's a homebrew radio system with an embedded motherboard, and the motherboard started playing up. Unfortunately, I built it in such a way that I had to get to the motherboard and get it out. I had to strip all the radio out because I wasn't expecting it really to go wrong. So the whole lot is in pieces now, and the motherboard is out. I've sorted it. It was memory stick problems with bad connections and so on. So a lot of cleaning up. But I decided not to put the board back anyway. I'm going to stick a Raspberry Pi in there because I've used the Raspberry Pi for that same job before, and it's just as good as a PC. In fact, I'm using Raspberry Pis for everything at the moment. I've got 2 Raspberry Pi 400s now, and one is doing all the DMR digital. Sorry, I was timing out there. So anyway, I'll put it back to you there. We'll say the rest later. From Golf Whiskey 4, Golf Juliet Alpha Method to Phil.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, yeah, definitely at the time out there. But yeah, it's all good. So we've got NF-N6 UTC is listening. He says hello from YouTube land. I did speak to him on the radio before the Ragchew Net, and he'd just done a satellite pass. So yeah, I haven't mentioned yet the WX here. And of course, yeah, it's been sunny, it's windy, and we've had a little bit of rain. So we were right in the back garden, round the table and chairs. Just finished cooking the meat and everything. Had eaten quite a little bit of food. We actually pulled the barbecue closer just to keep warmer because it went off a little bit cold. Then it rained, and then of course, yeah, brought everything into the kitchen. And then I said, oh yeah, I've got the trailer tent set up in the front garden. So we went through the house, out into the trailer tent, and sat in the trailer tent. And then, yeah, the rain eased off and the sun came back out, but it stayed windy. But it was surprisingly warm inside there as well. So that was all good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see if anyone else would like to join in with the Saturday Ragchew Net. If you would, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over to be number 7.
Kilo 9, Whiskey Lima Whiskey. Name is Frank. Current QTH is Milan or Milan. I'm not sure how it's pronounced here. Milan or Milan, Michigan.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Your ears have been burning, but you got up in time, Frank. And of course I had mentioned you. I mentioned it to Michael as well. He said what he does is he uses DMR to YSF to get into the XLX. He said there's also a list of DCS reflectors on the open spot as well. So I'm sure, yeah, if you ask what you want to ask, and then it could be clarified a little bit later. But yeah, you're number 7, and Michael is number 3 in the list. I count myself, so I'm number 1. Back over to you there, Frank. Kilo 9, Lima, Whiskey, Lima.
Well, thank you for that. It's glad to be back on the net. It's been too long, several years, in fact. Anyway, I'm glad that I finally have come back. I am actually connected to XLX 042 Delta in the DStar mode on a Shark RF mic currently. Yeah, I'll clarify what I had mentioned to Chris earlier when I spoke to him on another talk group earlier today. The XLX DMR reflectors, again, specific XLX DMR, not the DStar reflectors. The XLX DMR reflectors on the OpenSpot platform. And this includes original OpenSpots, OpenSpot 2s, OpenSpot 3s, OpenSpot 4s, OpenSpot 4 Pros, and even the Shark RF mic. There is no more DMR connector that is allowing direct DMR access without cross-moding of any sort to the XLX reflector bank, like you can get with a Raspberry Pi hotspot. So in order to go to XLX, you either have to cross-mode over the Wi-Fi connectors, or you have to mode over to the DStar, or you can go directly to them. But the OpenSpot 2, which does not cross-mode from DStar, so on connectors, and they're no longer there in DMR connectors. So that was where I guess I was encountering a head-scratching situation. But anyway, that was probably an over-explanation, but I just wanted to be clear on what my dilemma was. I'm actually on a DStar connector getting into the net, and I'm not on the old DMR connector, which you usually have through DMR Gateway on your Raspberry Pi hotspots. Anyway, I'll turn it back over to Net Control. This is K9WLW back to Net Control M7CCS.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, yep, just giving your YouTube channel a little plug on the live stream. So went on there, Kilo 9 Whiskey Lima Whiskey Radio, and of course quite a few videos there. And yeah, you can see why Frank's asking the questions, because he knows quite a lot, but he's stumped by the question that he asked there. So that's all good. So Anyway, thanks very much there, Frank, and I'm going to see if I can get a number 8 into the log. Yeah, if you'd like to be number 8 into the Saturday Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over. Okay, nothing heard there, so we will go back to the top of the list, and we'll go to Rod G0 EUZ. And Frank, I forgot to tell you as well, your audio, I wouldn't even know you were on DStar, but audio comments to come as we go around the list there. Over to you there, Rod G0 EUZ.
G0 EUZ, back to the group. Yeah, good evening there to Frank. Yeah, your audio is fine. It's lovely. Until you said you were on DStar, I wouldn't have known. So yeah, that's good. Interesting on the pies, Ken. I've never done anything with a pie except hotspots. You know, I've never tried to do anything working as a computer. I do need to do something about my computers because it's just unbelievable. They're both so slow. You know, I turned them off a week ago when I went away. When I come back, and you know, it took all day to reboot. So I don't know where to go. I've been in and the start menu and all that sort of stuff. Not got rid of anything. One of them, the Hewlett-Packard, is the worst. That's a Windows 11 machine. I bought it as is, and it really is bad, you know. But it has a Dell, no, not Dell, Hewlett-Packard Sure Start that fires up immediately. It comes on. I've tried to disable it, but I can't. I've been in the BIOS and it's disabled it, but it came back. So I don't know what that's all about. So yeah, I'm not really au fait with computers. I can get by, but that's about it. And by the way, I have been on the radio today. I've done some FT8. Only around Europe, but I enjoyed it. Although it took me an hour to get the audio out to work. So there we go. Back to you, Chris. M7CCS, G0UZ.
Yeah, Mike 7 Charlie Sierra. Well, yeah, the main live stream PC down there. That actually it was left in sleep mode all week. That's what I tend to do. I have to pause the updates occasionally. If it doesn't update, it fails on one update. So yeah, 11 is killing the machines, shall we say? But I pretty much, I'm going to pretty much turn it to no updates, I reckon. But okay, it lives with its side on quick release, and that means the panel at the side, so I can access the hard drives very quickly. So it actually runs, it's got 3 hard drives in it. So you've got the main hard drive, which has the operating system on. Anything that needs saving actually goes to another drive, and then that replicates on another drive. So there's like a twin backup of it. And then that all actually goes to a NAS drive. And it's plugged into the back of the router as well. Yeah, a little bit OTT. But sometimes I'll find, even if I tell it I want to reset it, restart PC, and you'll sit there with the buffer inside going round and round and round and round. And it could sit there doing it for hours. So then you have to bite the bullet, press the power button. But I found the handy thing to do is I just leave my main drive connected. But what I do is I disconnect all the drives, turn it back on, let it error, it's got no drives, turn it back off, holding the power button, then switch it off at the wall, clear the memory. And then I literally plug the boot drive back in. It goes to boot, plug in the other drives. You don't have to unplug the powers on the drive, just the SATA cable. And then plug the SATA cables back in and hunky-dory again. But it happens once in a blue moon. But like I said, the side of my PC is quick release so that I can sort it out in seconds, because I did actually have a Ragchew a couple of weeks ago, and I had the green screen of death, as I called it, yeah, very quickly got the live stream back into the same live stream, and all working again. But that was a sequence I pretty much had to do. So the other thing I've been looking at before I time out, I don't want to, so I'll take a bit. Mike 7 Charlie Sierra returning. I've been seeing a lot of, but it's probably down to algorithm, Flex OS. So Flex OS is basically what went on Chromebooks, except it's not Chrome. It doesn't give access to the Chrome store and things like that, but it runs basically, you know, Chrome browser, everything like that. If you want to check emails, all that sort of thing, and just monitor stuff, which one of my PCs does, but I put a laptop in place here, but the actual PC is on the floor over there, and I was going to retire it in the scrap pile, but I'm going to try Flex OS on there, because I only need it to open up PyStar Windows, YouTube Studio, and another PyStar when I'm doing a net. So that actually would work for me, and of course, yeah, keeping a PC running, but also not having to chuck it on the scrap pile. Another one is Linux, is another way to go as well. But yeah, I did use Flex OS, and it was in the early days of it. I was still in Wales, and I put it on a MacBook, a very old MacBook. And it used to run very, very well until that MacBook got Coca-Cola in it at an SOS event. So, yeah, and up until then it ran really, really, really well. So we'll now go over to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo, India Papa.
Chris, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo, India Papa here. And I've forgotten the name of the man who hurt his hand. I hope he's feeling better soon. Nothing worse than an injury, having to live with it every day. As far as food porn goes, last weekend was Easter weekend here, and because my wife's been sick quite a bit here lately, we postponed my birthday. So we had Easter Sunday dinner with my birthday dinner and my brother-in-law's birthday, who had his birthday the day before Easter. So we had an ice cream cake that my wife handmade, which is layered cake, one layer cake, one layer of ice cream all the way up, and iced. And then we had a spiral cut ham that my son smoked to perfection. I will have to say, it was great. He also smoked some cream cheese, which was great as an appetizer on crackers, and some bologna, another delicacy that changed the whole texture and taste of the meat. We also had dressing with gravy on it, green beans, and I can't remember what all else we got, because there was a bunch of food. Much of the food was consumed and much food was ate for good measure. As far as the open spot, I don't know anything about that particular part. That division part doesn't affect parts that I'm using right now, so I don't know how to check it, because I am on my Open Spot 4 Pro. And there was one more thing else. I was on Netflix right now. They're having a boxing match of heavyweights from the UK in one of the stadiums over there. And the main guy, Tyson Fury, is the main guy. And there's another guy. His first name starts with an A, middle name starts with an M, and everything in between is about a bunch of consonants, about 35 or 40 consonants. So it looks like they might have a good fight going over there. And with that, I'll turn it over to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7 Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there, Michael. And that's all good there. But yeah, I do have Netflix. I could stream it. I nearly got banned when I did the rugby a couple of weeks ago. Not doing it again. So, right, we will go round to Steve, GW5 at VOG. And yeah, believe it or not, I'm actually moving my phone around and yeah, showing the shack while I'm talking. Over to you there, Steve. That's the laptop that I'm talking about that is running that screen at the moment. And of course the PC that would normally sit there is that over there. So yeah, right in this corner, that PC there. So yeah, the shack can be a mess. There we go. There's the camera that's doing the back. Obviously you can see my phone now with the parking ticket in the back. And my audio probably went weird. Over to you there, Steve. GW5 VOG.
GW5 VOG returning. Thank you, Chris. Michael, that Easter meal sounds fantastic. You certainly like your smoking over there, don't you? So that sounded really good. I actually, weirdly, because my eldest son came to stay with us, we bought some chicken breasts and he didn't eat them. Just bought them like for snacking or lunches, but he never got around to eating them. So I don't like wasting food. So I had chicken breasts for lunch 4 days in a row. And I really enjoyed it, even though I'm a vegetarian. It's quite low calorie as well. I was surprised when I looked up what the calories were. A lot of vegetarian food isn't low calorie, unfortunately. They put lots of fat in it to make it taste better. But yeah, the boxing match on Netflix, I just looked it up. The guy with the unpronounceable name, his surname's Makhmudov. And that's not Scottish, he's Russian. He's a Russian giant, because Tyson Fury is, I believe he's from Manchester, and he's shall we say, a gypsy, Romani, I don't know, whatever you call it, I think. Yeah, so I think he retired, and this is a comeback fight, something like that. Anyway, Chris, I'm watching your live stream, and the thing I've noticed most is you've had your haircut. You're looking very, very smart, and been to the sheep shearer, and you're looking good. Your computer that got ruined by having liquid spill in it, I'm surprised because it was Macintosh. Should have been waterproof. Yeah, so what I was going to tell you something else about. Oh, I've been doing FD this week. I try and do it every day, but
Fraser Clark, he was a 5-1 underdog, and he wins the title. He is an underdog here again tonight. Do you think, Lennox, people are underestimating him?
Yeah, I think he's proven himself already. So they are underestimating him. Give him a chance, see what he can do. And this is
a moment, but it's very, very good, very good. And I've got it on a new laptop as well, which is so much better than the old one I had it on. The time is perfect all the time, and you know, it's just really, really good. So I'm really GW5 VOG returning. Sorry, I think I timed out then. You pick up the wrong microphone. I keep using the wrong mouse because they're wireless mice and they're all over the place, if you know what I mean. But anyway, yeah, so new and much faster FT8, so it's very good. So if anyone was on the old version, I'd recommend the new one. Back to you then, Chris M7CCS from GW5EOG.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, yeah, the FT8, well, I need to have a look actually. There's a new version, I haven't looked yet.
Give him a chance, see what he can do, and this is a space for him to do it.
So we go around to Ken now, GW4G.
Yeah, okay, from Ken here, Merthyr Tydfil. Yeah, fine on everything there. Yes, as I was saying earlier on about my other computer, which I put back into a case now, so it's a conventional machine. It's really a spare one now, but so I got Linux on it again. What have I put on it? It's Ubuntu or Dragon OS, which seems to be Ubuntu basically. Put all the ham radio stuff on it, but I just use it as a web access for the ham radio. But it's very good. I've got an SSD drive in it. Oh yes, if you want to speed up your computers there, is it Ray? I can't remember the name now. You've got your computers are slow. Mine are all quite old here, 13 years old, 14-year-old laptop. Change your hard disk to an SSD for a start. And because that really does improve things no end. And stick a Linux OS on it. There's some damn good Linux OS systems out there now. There's so many of them. I've been messing around with Linux for over 20 years, because I wasn't even living in Wales, and I've been here years now. I was dealing with Linux back in Kent in the early days before USB ports were even around, or Linux didn't recognize USB ports then. Oh, it's just falling down behind the bed. YouTube's on that. I was watching, so I've lost it now for a minute. Yeah, so watch the time out. Yeah, so do that. You'll breathe new life into your machine. The easiest way, take out your hard disk, swap it over to an SSD, your old hard disk in case you need to go back to it. It's the best way I find for safety. And put a fresh SSD in, create on another machine. Before you do it, you create a USB boot up disk to start with one of the Linux distros that you can download. Last Linux OS is the good one. LLOS. It's based on Ubuntu and Linux Mint and so on. There's a bit of a story behind the last Linux OS. It's called that because the author of it reckons you'll never want to go to another one, so it'll be your last version you'll ever install. Actually, it's very good. It's straight out the box. It works. Everything's there. And then you can install all your ham radio stuff on it afterwards. Anyway, it's up to you. There's so many distros. Anyway, sorry, we timed out probably. So back to you there, Simon, and from GW4GJ8.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Yeah, not a problem there, Ken. And yeah, there was a little bit of a timeout situation there. So yeah, we'll go round to Frank now. 9 Whiskey Lima. Over to you there, Frank.
Fine business back around to is currently and clear. It's gonna be a little cooler to this is 58 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm now over to Celsius here, so 14 Celsius. So it's a little cool here, to say the least. Although there's a warming trend, and I will be rolling out of here in a few short hours to head south to Atlanta, Georgia. And then after that, they are taking me down to Mobile, Alabama, on the Gulf Coast of Alabama. So this is going to be the coldest I've experienced for a while. So I'm only heading south from here. I'm about 40 miles west of Detroit, Michigan, currently, so I'm way up north. Okay, anyway, I was going to go back to the topic of head scratcher about the XLX access. I've discovered the DStar access, obviously. The DMR access with OpenSpot has been, with the XLX connectors being evaporated and disappearing, is apparently off the table, but I did hear someone mention a possible YSF connection. Is it a YSF reflector connection, or is it a cross mode from a YSF to the DStar XLX? Because I'm trying to find, I did find XLX 042 as one of the YSF connectors. I connected my OpenSpot 4 there, and I'm getting no net. I cannot hear net on the YSF, and then I'm to TGIF 2356. No net there. So far, the only connection I can find is the DStar XLX 042 Delta. I figured I would comment on that. And if anyone has any specifics about how to get there via YSF, that's a different path, I'd sure like to know. Again, not a cross mode, because I get the cross moding to XLX 042 in the DStar world. But yeah, I'm trying to find a pathway either in the DMR servers or another pathway in the YSF servers that would get me to this net. Anyway, I'm going to pass that back over to Control M7CCS from K9WLW in the group.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, yeah, some of you may have seen me on the live stream just do a speed test. But, of course, yeah, I noticed that things were a little bit slower. Because obviously, yeah, that camera in front, where my hand has gone out, and you'll see on one screen, but it hasn't yet gone out up on the top corner, the front view of me. Of course, yeah, things are quite slow. But of course, we got the streaming going on and everything else. But they have been, well, all week really, the village of Churchtown. For about 2 weeks, you have got pretty much every road you go round, all the major roads, there are roadworks and temporary traffic lights and things like that. One of those roadworks was they were playing with the phone transmitter. They seem to have knocked the one phone transmitter offline. iPhone 2. So my router is jumping in and out between 4G and 5G. But it's enabling us to do everything. It seems to be working okay there. But I don't, you know, and now I'm talking about it. It knows I'm talking about it because the lights, yeah, it's gone full 5G. But because they're playing with services, optimizing things, and playing on the network, then yeah, I was expecting it to crash in one sense, but it hasn't. I'm touching a form of wood, let's touch some real wood, some pine, then it doesn't crash. So that's all good, and all good, Frank. I'm going to see if anyone else would like to check into the Saturday Ragchew Net. If you would, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and over. Okay, nothing heard, so we will go up to Rod G0, EUZ.
G0 UZ, back to the group. Yeah, all good there, Ken. I got all that, and I might have a look at that. I have an old laptop that's got Linux Mint on, but to be honest, I've never really used it. I think I put it on for my grandson for some reason. He wanted a lightweight computer. Anyway, he ended up buying a Windows computer. I must admit, I'd sooner stick with Windows because I know, well, I know as much about Windows as anything else. So we'll have to, I don't know how. Can you clone your drive to an SSD somehow or other, and to save losing it and reinstalling it? I've no disk for either of these because they were both second-hand business machines that came preloaded. So I don't know. Frank, I envy you moving down south, further and further away from the bad weather. I am south, but it's gone cold here the last few days. But whether it'll pick up during the week, I don't know. We've had no rain for months. When I take the dog out for a walk, all the walkways are cracked from dryness. Yeah, so it's been all right. Better than a dirty dog and dirty boots when you come home. Okay, back to you, Chris. M7CCS G0 EUZ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, yeah. Well, of course, Frank he used to come on the Ragchew when we were back on 2356. A long time ago. Thinking back a few years. But he used to work, we were discussing it today, he told me today. I'm sure he could go into more detail than me. But he used to work in an office. He's now, well, he was doing his laundry after I spoke to him earlier on. He was going to do his laundry. He's currently on the road. He swapped his office for an 18-wheeler. That now is the office. It might be 18 wheels, might be 16, I might have that wrong. But yeah, a rig, shall we say. So we'll go over to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Chris, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, and I'm glad you showed the very beginning of this broadcast on Netflix. That's what I saw before I went over to the net. And I'd say that the best thing they got going right now is Muhammad Ali's daughter's in there. Very beautiful lady, but who can also knock you on your butt if you're not careful, because she was a devastating fighter in her time. But like I said, she does not wear the marks of her profession before she started broadcasting at all. Like I say, I enjoyed watching her fight, but it was always a pleasure to watch her do a broadcast too. I forgot to mention earlier that my wife made some fantastic stir-fry, Chinese stir-fry, little small baby corn. She sliced up the cabbage itself and cooked it up, and with ground chicken. And I'm normally not a fan of ground chicken, but with the seasonings in it and everything like that, she made it taste fantastic, which is what I'll be having for supper tonight, I do believe. And I'm glad I don't have any of the computer troubles right at this point in time. I primarily buy Lenovo computers. I have two of them right now in my ham shack, one running my main screen, and then one that I use primarily for FT8 over on the side with monitors on both. But I haven't had problems with either one. Lenovo has always did me well. I've not had a lot of problems with them. I usually get a fairly cheap one off of Amazon, and they're usually a small form factor desktop. And like I say, I usually look for 16 gigs of RAM and at least a decent sized solid state drive that keeps me running pretty smooth. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, even with the problems I said about the beast, should we say that there's the live stream and everything else, pretty much it's a game spec PC. But that runs with a static drive in it. The older Dell that I'm running, yeah, that's running with a static drive in it. Yeah, the PC which I retired has a mechanical drive. So that's kind of the story on that. But of course, you know, a mechanical drive, yeah, get what you can out of it. A static drive can be just as bad, really. If you think of an SD card, and you write to it, and you write to it again, and you write to it again. There's only so many write sequences in one sense. But yeah, it's one of them things. But like I said, Windows 11, or Windows whatever they want to call it, if they release another one tomorrow, there's been many times where I would have rather opened the window and chucked it out. And that's coming from somebody that used to actually work with PCs as well. Where, as far as Linux is concerned, Linux Mint, things like that, yeah, I remember chucking it on old PCs in the school environment for the schools and the colleges. But yeah, the problem is it's different generations, and I'll touch on it with Ken as well, and everybody in the group, but different generations. So a younger generation now will come to a computer and they expect to turn it on, click, 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 and it works, and they can play their game. Whereas when it comes to Linux, there's a little bit more involved. Yeah, you can click, click, click. A lot, you know, pretty much sudo is your magic word. You know, you've got updates, and of course it's open source software. That's the magic one. Same as our PyStars that we use. Open source software. So you have to update it yourself, where Windows updates itself. But you know, Windows updates. Yeah, I do a little bit. Like I said, I know a little bit. When my Windows logos on my PCs, I have to show them one day. Oh, a bit of time, mate. I start till I finish. Yeah, my Windows logo. When I'm loading my PC, it'll come up with a Windows logo. It's also got a picture of a man smashing it with a hammer, as that logo. And obviously it said pretty much, it says Microsoft slowing you down since, and the start date of Windows. But you know, I highly modify my scrutin PCs in certain ways. It's easy enough to change in the registry. But yeah, it's personalised, and that's how my Windows machine loads. But of course, working with Windows, and like I said, it was in environments that you'd think of, so councils and job centres and libraries, and Windows XP, it well exceeded its lifespan. And it was because it worked. But ever since, yeah, it's Windows 11, you know, I've got it because I've got it. The gateway still runs on 10. Yeah, it's it's just one of them things. I'm not overly impressed with it anymore, but it's something that we live with. When you go and buy a PC, it's got Windows 11 on it. So you just, you live with it. You've got the option to buy Google machines or a Macintosh. Same as if you were buying different brands of car, haven't you? Right, we then spoke to Michael last, so we will go around to Steve. GW5 VOG.
GW5 VOG returning. Thank you, Chris. Right, okay. I've got an ailment story this week. Last Monday, my wife decided she wanted it was like a small tree cutting down and removing, and she was starting to do it and she was struggling with it, so she asked me to come and help her. She managed to pull a piece down that she didn't realise, but it was growing into the stone wall that goes around the garden, and a big chunk of the stone wall collapsed. So that was the first disaster. Then anyway, I decided I would get a saw and cut through the bottom of the sort of trunk bit of the tree. It wasn't very thick. It's about sort of 5 inches thick, something like that. Maybe not that much. It was very sort of springy and spongy. Anyway, so I'm sawing away, getting nowhere. Anyway, so we started trimming all the bits off the top of it and that, and then because she'd pulled the piece away from the wall, I realised that I could sort of bend it over, because like I say, it's very soft and springy. So I started bending it over where I'd half cut through it, and I could see it starting to sort of give way, crack a little bit and that. Anyway, so I give it a good pull, and of course it suddenly went, and I went as well. So, and it was growing out of a raised bed with concrete blocks holding the soil up in the raised bed. So I fell quite violently backwards. I didn't bang my head because my head went into another bush. Got stuck in it. But my back went across the concrete blocks, and miraculously I wasn't seriously hurt, but I was aching all over, and it only got worse the next couple of days. So I had whiplash, backache, shoulder ache, arm ache, you name it, I had an ache. So it's getting a little bit better now, but I did my audition to be a stuntman there. So anyway, and the worst thing is I had to cut it all up when it broke off and take it to the tip as well. So there we are. I'm thinking of suing my wife, but for the whiplash, but maybe not. Anyway, so how are we doing for time? Yeah, that's to pack in. I'm coming up to it. So back to you, Chris, M7CCS.
everyone's giving a little key up there, I'll just check on getting in. I have got a dashboard local and the WiresX link is lit up. So I'll try and give another call for K9 Whiskey Lima Whiskey. I might have keyed up too soon and no one might have got all of me over. But reports are welcome after. So we'll try Frank again. K9 Whiskey Lima Whiskey. I did see Rod key up.
Okay, sorry I didn't hear the original call. Yeah, my reflector went quiet. I'm on the DStar reflector, 242 Delta. And it went suddenly quiet for about 2-3 minutes, like everything just disappeared. It didn't disconnect, it just went silent. I'm still trying to figure out how to connect to the YSF world, and I'm not having any success there. So I'm striking out on TGIF, I'm striking out on the ability to go to DMR XLX servers, and the YSF path is not working either, so DStar is my only path, and it disappeared on me. But I am back, it did reconnect, and I started hearing audio again, it didn't disconnect, it just went silent. So I apologize if I did not respond. Needless to say, believe it or not, even though I'm in what would be considered the size of an 18-wheeler, it is a 10-wheeler. And the reason it's a 10-wheeler is because the two axles with the drive wheels, as well as the two axles on the trailer, instead of having the double wheels or tires on each side, we have super duper wide tires that are, so instead of having 8 wheels on the drivetrain on the two axles, we have 4 giant wide tires that are as wide as the 2 wheels are on your conventional 18-wheel trucks. And then the same thing holds true with the trailer. Super duper wide tires that are as wide as the twin tires that you normally see on 18-wheelers that are standard on the American roads. So we call them double wides. And you ought to see when young buck of men have to change those tires, because they're so wide, they are super heavy. And I'm amazed that these young bucks can actually get them off and pop them off and pop them on, because they got to weigh over 100 pounds each. I mean, they are big and they are heavy. And just to kind of give you an idea of the dimensions of the vehicle, it's with the trailer is 53 feet, which is the standard length these days in the U.S. And then when you add the tractor to the overall length, the front to back is 76 feet. And the clearance height is 13 feet 6 inches. And of course the trailer is refrigerated, where I can set the type of product that I'm carrying and also a specific temperature. And it is monitored from a satellite. So if it does go out of temperature, I start getting warning alerts sent to me online to my smartphone. Or if I put the wrong temperature setting, I get all kinds of alerts immediately sent to my smartphone. So a lot of technology in these trucks. And if you have a service situation, they will come to you. If you already have a load and the food needs to be protected, they have 24-hour-a-day road service that will come out and work on your refrigerator unit where you sit. Or if you're in an area where it's near one of their locations, even if it's the middle of the night, they'll meet you there. So that's how eager we are to protect the product temperature in the event of any failures. Particularly with super cold stuff, that's where there's more vulnerability. Ice cream is normally kept at minus 20 Fahrenheit, and that's a tough one to maintain in summer months, by the way. Anyway, that's what I do. I drive refrigerated. So I just thought I would share that. Long distance career change from the banking world that I worked in for all those years before. Anyway, that's enough about me. I'll turn it back over to Net Control. M7CCS from K9WL. Or am I putting the wrong temperature setting? 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 Or am I putting the wrong temperature? Or am I putting the wrong temperature? Or am I putting the wrong? Or am I putting the wrong? Or am I putting the wrong? Or am I putting? Or am I? Or am I? Or Okay, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Yeah, we're all back up and live again. Yeah, one thing, I was able to, yeah, I'm turning down all my volumes now. Yeah, we'll do a quick rundown here. So, you dropped out on the WiresX, you went for like 228. Yeah, you dropped out on the WiresX, and then, of course, it then dropped out on XLX042, and then it kept going on cqnorthwest, and then it went, and then it was still going on XLX749, and then the system tried to reset just at the end of your over, and then we went into like a little rebound, and yeah, the system reset itself. We had a peep out from cqnorthwest, and hopefully it looks like I am going out across the board, so it's all good there. And the thing with YSF, you said you couldn't find the YSF route. I believe it would still be the same with the open spot. In the Yaesu radio, by holding down GM, I think it is, or mode, you need to change the DigiID just on the TX to number 13. Pretty much the first transmission needs the 13, and then it keeps it kind of open. But yeah, if you do the DigiID to 13, it should open it up on the XLX with a YSF radio. So that's something to try there. And of course, yeah, pretty much the system, it starts misbehaving after about 180 seconds, 240 sort of thing, on a hotspot, because of course it gives different measures and things depending on what you're using. But yeah, it was nice to have a little reverb, and that was my own one. So we'll see if anybody else is there and would like to join in on the Saturday Ragchew Net. If you would, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over. Okay, nothing heard there, so we will go round to G0 EUZ, and I'm guessing that part of me over, or one of my overs, didn't get through, and yeah, I realised what was happening. I was using the DMR radio to try and get into the gateway on milliwatt power, and the WiresX gateway, when I started talking, yeah, it's transmitting out at 5 watts. So of course, yeah, it stopped, might have pokered me over a little bit. And of course, yeah, it's why we save the time out, and of course, the all-important gaps
is why the reverb happened. So I did it myself a couple of weeks ago, didn't I? So we go round to Rod G0 EU.
G0 EUZ back to the group. Yeah, that you're over before Frank. Yeah, I lost all of that until I keyed up and then he came back. So anyway, no problem. Yeah, I don't think I have much else to add at the moment. Trying to think. Yeah, while we were away for that week, every morning I went down to what they call the boat cafe, which is a narrow boat moored up and set up as a cafe. And I used to have egg bacon on what they call it. Torpedo. So that was over Lodge and the two grandchildren. One had us on bread, and the other one can eat, you know. So it's £74 for three meals every day. So, but yeah, it was good. Enjoyed it. And I sent me up for the rest of the day until tea time, and we had whatever then. You know, so it was nice. Enjoyed it. And going again in October. October half term, going back again, but we're in a different lodge, so that'll be good. Now the other thing, Chris, I was going to ask is it not Blackpool Rally this weekend, over?
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Yes, it is Blackpool Rally this weekend. I'm not going myself. There is, well, up till now, there isn't a table for W.D.R.G. We gave it a miss. There are a lot of things going on. So of course within the group and of course financially, I believe Pablo and City are popping up as punters, so they're going up there. But of course, yeah, the rally is tomorrow. But yeah, I'm at home. Finances don't allow it, in the sense, and of course, yeah, with house renovations, 2 houses. And of course, there are a couple of health issues going on within the group as well. City had mentioned it on one of his Wednesdays, but of course, yeah, not everyone's on a Wednesday. So yeah, no Blackpool this year. But of course, I'm sure I shall get some pictures in the W.D.R.G group, and of course, yeah, be able to share them up, show people what it did look like, and things like that. I'm sure City and Pablo do that to the W.D.R.G page, if they're listening. They may be able to do that. Every time I've gone, I've always gone around the rally and done a live stream, walking around the rally as well, and put it up on the W.D.R.G as walking round. So that's an option as well. So that's the news on Blackpool Rally. I'm not attending this year, but and the group, a couple of members of the group are attending, but my finances, yeah, don't allow me. So we go round to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Chris Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. I'm sorry that you're not going to be able to make it this year, but like I say, you're doing for the greater good, I guess. You know, it's one of those things that you live better afterwards than right now, and success waits around the corner, I guess. But like I say, hopefully next year you'll be a totally different picture, and of course you'll have pictures from this year's. And with that, it's like I say, you postpone the pleasure till you can get to better things later down the line. Here, like I said, I was like Rod said earlier, FT8 has been great this week. I've been making several contacts with it, and hope to look forward to even more this weekend. We're coming up on our contest here in June. It's where all the ham radio operators in North America will be making contacts on Field Day. I don't remember the exact date, but it's in June. So if you're looking to make contacts with both North American, both the Canadian side and United States side, that'll be the weekend to do it. So I'm looking forward to that myself. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, and yeah, sorry for the live stream, of course. Yeah, and of course I put my WiresX machine. I get remoted into it, and put my WiresX machine on there. Of course, quick update. W.D.R.G is on now version 2 of WiresX, and if you actually, if I can zoom it up. Bottom right hand corner, I'm not sure how it goes out, but I'm hovering. I'm IPv6 as well, but of course W.D.R.G room is IPv4, I believe, but it's WiresX2. It has been for a couple of weeks now, and of course I've upgraded to version 2 now, and as you can see, if you're looking on there, of course. If I drag a couple of things over, all the rooms are all appearing and showing, and it's all happy and hunky-dory now, version 2. There are still other groups having issues now, because they upgraded and then it downgraded back, and yeah, it needs patience. The first time it takes a while for the rooms to load, and then they all load. So of course I use my I'm using my FTM 200 going in. Of course, it says it on there. And again, it goes into an FTM 100, which is on a Windows PC running the WiresX software. And I go into it via a frequency. Yeah, it works very well. So that's that. Of course, yeah, I know that that's all working well now. So I can actually resume live stream back to normal service as well. So we go round to Steve, GW5 VOG.
GW5 VOG returning. Thank you, Chris. Right, because I don't always do this, but today I've been forgetting everything I was going to say on every over, so I made a little list for this over, and number 2 on the list was Blackpool, but Rod's brought it up already. I was going to say, isn't it Blackpool this week? Anyway, I was going to go. I was thinking of going up there, and I was looking at bed and breakfasts and the hotel where it is and that sort of thing, and I was going to drive up there this year and that, but in the end I woke up one day and I thought I can't be bothered, so I decided not to go. Anyway, I did a few weeks ago. I was talking to Sutty and asked him about it. You're going up there, and he explained to me the situation, and you weren't, and that he did say that he was thinking of going up there, and so that's good that he's gone with Pablo. Anyway, so hopefully we'll be back next year. If you are doing it next year, I will definitely come up. How about that? So yeah, so I have that on my list. The other thing I got is the moon mission. We've all been watching that, obviously, I should think. And I'd just like to say, for the benefit of all our American people tonight, how great it is to see something good coming out of the USA. And it seemed just like the old days when everyone was cooperating and being nice, and Canadian people were friends with Americans and that sort of thing, and both the flags were up there, and it was great to see. Anyway, I watched the landing last night. It was 1 o'clock in the morning, just gone 1 o'clock in the morning with us, and I thought, well, that's not too bad. I'll go to bed after that. So I watched it all on the NASA live feed. It was very good, and they got that okay, thank goodness. But then it took them about an hour and a half to get them out of the capsule, and I was watching and watching. In the end, I gave up. I thought, I've got to go to sleep. So I never actually saw them coming out of the capsule. I think they just got the front porch on when I gave up. So it was awful slow, but they did say that the target for doing it is 2 hours. But it just seemed to me they could have done it a lot quicker. There we are, what do I know? Anyway, so back to you then, Chris M7CCS from GW5VOG.
Yeah, Mike 7 Charlie Sierra, thanks very much there, Steve. So next we go around to Ken, GW4GJA.
Yes, from Ken here, Merthyr Tydfil. Yeah, final. Yes, the Blackpool rally is tomorrow. I didn't really, I'd forgotten all about it actually. I'd like to have gone, but the Zelo Net that I'm on quite often in the mornings, and many of them on the net are going up. They're already up there, in fact. Some of them are staying overnight. And yeah, so it's not one I've been to before. I haven't been to Blackpool for years anyway. Anyway, I don't go to rallies much nowadays. I remember the old days when I lived in Bedfordshire for a time, in Luton and Hertfordshire. I used to visit Woburn, of course, and Leicester, and many rallies I used to visit in those days, in the 70s. Yeah, 70s, late 70s. Then I moved back to Kent in the 80s. And I moved twice there in Kent, from Rainham to Sittingbourne. And then Sittingbourne wasn't it 21 years, and then I moved from there to here, and I've been here 21 years as well now. Blimey. So I'm getting old. I'm an old man. Well, retired as well. I moved here before retirement, in actual fact, but I didn't come here and retire. I moved before retirement for my wife's medical reasons. But she's just having had a cataract done on her eyes, and 3 weeks ago, well, one of them, and she still can't see properly. She's worse off now than she was before. She can't read at the moment properly. She's all blurred, and all the cloudiness is gone. They said it can take up to a month, but she's got an appointment to go back anyway because she's got a stitch. They had to put a stitch in the eye, and that's got to come out. That's being done a week this Monday. A week Monday that's being done in Abergavenny at Neville Hall Hospital. And hopefully her eyes might not be so blurred, but if not, they're going to have to make some adjustment, aren't they? I don't know. It hasn't worked out as well as she'd hoped. As I say, she's worse off now than she was before. Colours are excessively bright, she said. That's because she's been didn't realise how bad her eyes were before. Oh dear. Anyway, they'll then do the other eye eventually. So go. Right, I'll make this one my final. I wish you all good night. Thanks for the chat this evening. Good to hear you all. Evening to Francis, by the way. They're over in the States. That's a new person I've not heard before. Nice to hear you there.
And Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, bit of a timeout there, Ken, but all good there. So we will go round to Frank, and then I think the next round is 7-3 round. We will, unless we get any key ups for a check-in before we actually go round. So we go to Kilo 9, Whiskey Lima Whiskey. Back to you there, Frank.
Okay. Yeah, I see the day is slipping away here, so I think I'll be able to just make it through the 7-3 round, because I will have to get started on my work preparation here shortly. Anyway, it's been a busy day getting laundry. I've been sitting here getting tasks done, and I figured I had a rare opportunity to check into the net, and I'm very pleased that I was able to do that. Apologize if my access to the network has caused some confusion, but I'm still trying to sort out a few issues, so nonetheless, I'm glad that I've been able to reestablish contact with the net one way or another, and certainly glad to be able to encounter Chris, formerly known as W7CCS, now known as M7CCS, which is another story in and of itself, I understand. I don't have any other comments that I can add, other than doing my best to get access to the system and not. I almost feel like the last over I had was causing the hiccup that was causing that major meltdown. Anyway, with that, I will turn it back over to Net Control. M7CCS from K9WLW, Milan, Michigan.
CQNW the update. The average temperature across the northwest is about 6 degrees, with light rain in places like Crewe and Blackpool. Winds are mild, ranging from 4 to 10 miles per hour. Unfortunately, no severe weather warnings are in place today, so carry on. 7-3 from M0NWX.
Thanks very much for the weather update there, from CQ Northwest. So we know what the weather's like in Blackpool now, and all good there, Frank. And yeah, it's a long story, but of course, yeah, the people on the net, many of them actually know the story, the reasons, and yeah, reasons for the move and everything else. And pretty much, yeah, your parents raise you and look after you, and then you end up looking after them. So all good. So we will do the 7-3 range for the the 7-3 range and the last overs and 7-3. So we'll go round to Rod G0 EUZ.
G0 EUZ, back to the group, yeah. Yeah, it's been a good net, actually. Thank you very much, Chris. We've had some diverse subjects. We now know more about the haulage business in America, which was good. I mean, we see these massive trucks, don't we, on TV and whatever, but yeah, we can't imagine 70-odd foot long. So, brilliant, yeah. Yes, my local rally next Sunday, the 19th. So I'm looking forward to that. Although it's getting smaller and smaller. I suppose all of them are really. I remember Blackpool when it was 2 floors. When I lived up north, 2 full floors. And yeah, brilliant. We used to go every year, and like Ken was saying, Woburn and Leicester, you know, there was loads of them, wasn't there? You know, been to them all. I used to travel everywhere. Sometimes take the family with me. There was something for them to do. Anyway, I'll say 7 threes, everybody. Nice to catch you, and I hope you all have a nice week. And we'll speak to you again next week. M7CCS G0EZ.
Yep, 732 there, Rod, and of course, yep, next week as well. So we'll go round to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo, India Papa.
Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo, India Papa. It's been a great net, and I'd like seeing both the back of your head and the front of your face and these dual shots. Stephen, I'm glad you enjoyed the Artemis 2. I really enjoyed it. It harkened me back to when I was a kid watching the Apollo space trips. And it was really enjoyable. We got a lot of boost and excitement from it. I know I did. I watched the whole thing till they got the instruments out of the capsule and all the way back to the ship. So I got to see them taking up a helicopter and taking transported to the ship. And it was very interesting. I watched the NASA historian that was on one of the channels regale some of the background on it, and this was actually an initiative and things he did in his first year, in his first term, and it kind of languished, fell to the wayside during the next administration, but he revived it when he elected, and so this is what we've got. And you know, what happened last night was the culmination of what they did in since and in 2020 we're going to go back out to the moon. I believe we'll do some things there, and I want to have people on the moon and live on the moon. This before the end of his administration. So it is a great boost to the country, and we really enjoyed it. And just like this net, I enjoyed it also. Hope everybody has a great week. Stay safe out there. Stay healthy, and we'll talk again next Saturday, I hope. This is Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo Eddie Papa, 73 for now.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yep, 7-3 there. And yeah, of course, if I stick my hand up, of course, things aren't all in real time, are they? But of course, yeah, you've got the front view, you've got the back view, and of course, you've got the screen view, and the shack view, shall we say. And of course, we have the log as well. So, yep, 7-3 from you there, Michael. We'll go round to Steve now, GW5VOG, for his last over, and 7-3.
GW5VOG returning, thank you, Chris. Yeah, 73 to everyone. It's been a really good net. Back after 2 weeks. We've got quite a good group of people on tonight. Nice to hear from Frank, who I gather has not been on for a while. Good luck in your heading south soon. Just thinking of a line from a Bob Dylan song. Don't get stuck inside of Mobile with the Memphis Blues again. So yeah, you'll be heading for the sun soon, so that's good. Yeah, so 73 to everyone, and see you all next week. Bye for now. So M7CCS from GW5VOG, back to you, Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yep, 7-3 to you there, Steve. And yeah, hopefully catch you next week. So we'll go round to Ken at GW4GJA.
Yeah, okay. From Ken Merthyr Phil. Yes, I haven't got any holidays booked up this year because of all the visits to hospitals for my wife. We're not really sure what's going to happen with the fuel situation now, are we? I know it's virtually £2, just short of £2 a litre down here, and it could go up to £3. It's going to be a killer. I don't know. See what happens tonight. There's so many incredible statements from that certain man in America that I just don't know what to believe anymore. I've given up with it all. I keep reading the news on YouTube and you have to be careful. I listen to a chap called Glenn Kirshner, who's ex-DOJ. He's fantastic to listen to, very knowledgeable man. And I also listen to the Midas Touch. They're the two main ones I listen to because they're lawyers, professors in law, one of them, and very, very, very highly educated and very honest. You get all the real stories there. And one or two others, of course. But interesting, all of it. But worrying at the same time. And as to what's going to happen eventually, but time will tell. I'm powerless to do anything. I just make my odd comments now and again, but I'll leave it at that. Right, we mustn't time out. I do love watching your timeout on YouTube. Bit of a novelty, that, isn't it? Oh dear. Anyway, it's been a good net this evening. Nice to hear everybody, and some interesting comments somebody else said as well. And good. Enjoy the rally tomorrow if any of you are going. It's very windy here, by the way, weather-wise. It's been a very cold day. We had some good weather in the beginning of the week. It's very, very good. 73 is all. Many thanks for the chat. Back to you there, Chris. Thanks for running a net again. This is Golf Whiskey 4, Golf Juliet Alpha, Merthyr Phil, UK, signing clear.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, thanks very much there, Ken, 7-3. So we'll go to, last but not least, Kilo 9 Whiskey Lima Whiskey. Over to you there, Frank.
This is Kilo 9 Whiskey Lima Whiskey. I'm very pleased that I was able to connect to the net and also connect with Chris earlier. It was the first time I had chatted with Chris directly in several years, so I was very pleased to hear you in on the conversation. I was just wrapping up this earlier this morning when I was talking to Ron, so but anyway, I hope I can bump into you more, and I certainly am going to do my best to try and follow this net, although it might be difficult with the unusual and ever-changing schedule and demands of work I do. So do not be surprised if I am in a situation where I'm not able to participate. I can never know more than a day or two in advance what I might be doing and when I might be doing it. After my delivery in Monday morning in Atlanta, I go to Mobile, and I don't even know what time that delivery is. They haven't even set the appointment time yet. And after that, I have no idea what my next load will be, because they usually tell me about the time I'm done. So, hard to predict more than a day or two out. It is a different existence than the old bank. So, but anyway, it was a pleasure, personal pleasure for me to hear everyone on the net, and for Chris, I want to thank you personally for carrying this net into the future from days gone by. So I appreciate your dedication to this net, and I thank you personally for that. And with that, I will say 73s to Chris and everyone else on the net. This is K9WLW back to net control M7CCS. 73s, everyone.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, there's a full history of the net, but of course, yeah, we haven't got long enough in them over. But of course, yeah, we did go quiet for quite a few Saturdays. Was, you know, like I said, short story short, is quite literally your parents bring you up and look after you, and you look after them at the end as well. So, of course, that was pretty much how it was, and yeah, we went silent, and then we dragged it back up, and yeah, we say D'Artagnan, yeah, D'Artagnan and the Three Musketeers, because sometimes it is me, Rod, Michael, and Steve, but of course, yeah, we still have a net there, and if anyone else joins, it's good. But smaller groups are always good, because I don't like those nets where you get to check in, have an over, or just lots of in and outs and things like that. I like to have a conversation, and that's what this net was really built on. So, of course, in the net we had myself, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. We had G0 EUZ. We had Whiskey Alpha 5 Romeo India Papa. We had GW5 VOG. We had GW4 GJA. We had MDAF N6UTC listening on YouTube. We had Kilo 9 Whiskey Lima Whiskey, Frank back with us. We had M7JTV, Warren in Kidderminster was listening via YouTube, and Donna on YouTube. So I've been Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, of course, and yeah, may catch you on in the week. Of course, I do put myself, well, I've got my gateway MB6CS is in W.D.R.G, it's in major Brandmeister tool groups as well, as yeah, you can't forget 2356 where it all began. I still frequent it, and I still speak in it. Not really daily, but of course I go on radio and I speak to Ron, I speak to Hans, I speak to Mark, GW4XMR, and Jeff, and to BSS as well. So yeah, I just don't always get on, but when I do get on, yeah, I'm normally tied up for a while. There's my time, mate. 7-3. Catch you next week.
Yeah, 73 is Chris. Nice.